Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Guardian Electric. We light the way without the drama.
This is the Burdick Ford and Burdick Toyota pregame show.
All right, live from downtown Syracuse, it's the Burdick Toyota pregame show. The biggest game of the season has arrived, and Syracuse men's basketball hits a fork in the road. Put up a gutsy performance and continue their season, or concede defeat, call it quits on the 2025-26 campaign. It's the tale of two tapes we'll look into as I get you prepped for a 14-seed, 11-seed meeting to kick off the ACC tournament, as Syracuse has their second meeting with the SMU Mustangs this season. I'm Kyle Marshak, hanging out with you for the next hour, getting you prepped for what could be the finale of what's been certainly a disappointing Syracuse men's basketball season. And I'll approach it from that angle and kind of look at it from 50,000 feet, because I think that's what everyone wants to do is kind of reflect on how Syracuse, at least talent-wise, met the standards of Orange Nation in the preseason. They even nabbed a number 9 ranking in the ACC preseason poll, which would suggest that they'd at least land on the bubble, right? With ACC bringing in probably 8 teams into the tournament this year, if not 9 or 10. And obviously they have not met that standard. 15-16 overall, 6-12 in the ACC is where they finish with a net of 83. So not even a quad one opportunity for teams on the road in the Dome anymore. Not that that'll happen again this season. And they're also amidst a 5-game skid where they're coming off arguably their worst loss of the year at home versus Pitt. That was inexcusable. Probably right there next to, at least on paper, the Hofstra loss. Or, of course, on the road in Chestnut Hill against Boston College. 4:30 p.m. tip-off tonight in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. And for the third straight year, the second straight year, Syracuse gets the draw as a 10 or higher seed. So they play in day one of the ACC tournament. They would have to go on quite the run, 5 wins in a row, as a matter of fact, in order to win the ACC tournament and thus punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 4 years. They take on a different team with their own angle of disappointment, although they're still very much within reach of the NCAA tournament. I think, as is right now, SMU would probably fall in the first 8 out. In the last bracketology, they were projected the third team in, according to Joe Lunardi. They're favored tonight, though, and it's kind of a must-win game for Syracuse. Well, for SMU, I don't really think it matters too much grand scheme for Syracuse. Of course, we want them to win. SMU, 4.5-point favorites, and according to ESPN Predictor, it definitely plays as such. 67.2% chance for the Mustangs to get the win in neutral territory tonight. 32.8% for Syracuse. Now, Syracuse was not favored to win at home against SMU last time around, and hey, that was the last time Syracuse won an important basketball game. That was way back on February 14th. Syracuse won against SMU. It was one of 2 back-to-back quad 2 wins that Syracuse got, and was probably kind of their last little glimpse of hope, their little joke of hope, if you will. And then they began what is now a 5-game losing streak. It started with 2 very reasonable losses to Duke and North Carolina, and then it just kind of dwindled from there with Wake Forest, Louisville, and now Pitt, of all teams, which is just incredibly disappointing. So not only did they lower their stock in the ACC tournament, played like a team that kind of gave up, but then they also gave Pitt, which, of no disrespect to Pittsburgh, is the bottom of the ACC and has always been the bottom of the ACC, a chance to keep their season alive. And that's a squad that's well below 500. Now, I apologize for my transgressions, but you got to kind of circle back to that, right? That Pitt loss was downright putrid. But circling back to today, in the pregame show, we'll have a fun one, breaking it all down, kind of talking about all scenarios for Syracuse, and of course, looking ahead to who the next head coach could be, Matt Norlander of CBS Sports a week ago released an article getting reports that today would be the day that we would find out who the next athletic director is. At least to my knowledge, we have not seen any reports or official announcements surrounding that yet. So that still looms. And who knows with these reports how accurate that is. It could be a few days until we figure that out. And you'd imagine they get the AD announcement out before they get the head coach announcement out. And of course, that is imminent, especially after what could be a loss to SMU tonight. But the game's not out of reach. We've got Mike McAllister coming up to talk about why SMU maybe isn't as strong as they have been, and Syracuse kind of having a puncher's chance in the first round of the ACC tournament tonight. He'll call in at 4 o'clock, so stick around for the next hour to hear from our man, Mike McAllister. SMU's amidst their own losing streak, 4 games in a row, which coincides directly with one of their key players being injured, B.J. Edwards. So the Mustangs season is on the line. Again, projected on the bubble. Last bracketology had them 3rd team in, but they also have since lost at Florida State, a team that's kind of playing their way back into at least dreaming of an NCAA tournament, but they will not make it either. But shout out to Florida State. They've actually upset a handful of teams down the home stretch of the ACC regular season. So these 4 losses that SMU are on, not bad. They're all actually quad 1 losses, including at Florida State, where they lost by 13 points just 3 days ago on the 7th of March. Here we are 3 days later, and we can kind of reflect on this 4-game skid and talk about exactly what's gone wrong. Now, I don't know how much of an impact B.J. Edwards has been on the defensive side of the ball, but he is their 3rd leading scorer. He is a good defender. Not too many metrics that I have to back that up. It's just kind of a general consensus. He adds to the defense, but it's a weak defense for SMU, so it's not like it makes a massive difference. They certainly struggle on the defensive side of the ball. As a matter of fact, they're worse than the ACC now in scoring defense, SMU is. Weird. Not usually the recipe for a team that has, up until this 4-game skid, been kind of, you would say, somewhere between being a lock and work to do category type of team. Now they're, almost on the wrong side of the bubble. This 4-game losing streak, though, again, all quad 1 losses. They lost at Cal by 4, lost by 20 at Stanford, so not a fun trip out to the West Coast to kick off that 4-game losing streak. Then a very reasonable loss by 8 points at home versus number 22 Miami, who have also played strong down the home stretch. And then they lost by 13 at Florida State. Florida State top 75 in the net, so that is a quad 1 loss too. So when you look at the 4-game skid, their offense has petered off for sure. Throughout the season, they average 85.9 points per game. That is 2nd in the ACC, one of the best figures in the country. But in this 4-game losing streak, just 72.8 points per game, which ironically enough is only 3 points worse than Syracuse, just for comparison's sake. But the defense is what's really shocked me. During this 4-game skid, they have allowed 84 points per game. I know that I just said that SMU is the worst scoring defense in the ACC, obviously an offensive-minded team, but man, 84 points allowed during this 4-game skid? That is why, although Syracuse has played like a team that doesn't really want to be here, I would still argue has a puncher's chance tonight. So the defense is bad to begin with, but man, they have really struggled during this 4-game skid without B.J. Edwards. Now, when we pivot back to Syracuse, really not much to talk about. I mean, they have struggled in this 5-game stretch too. And, the 4 losses they had beforehand, you could make an argument, except maybe the Wake Forest one, I really thought they should have gone and won on the road. You could make an argument for the first 4 of those 5 losses, why they lost. They were all good teams, all quad 1 opportunities. And I remember even earlier in the year, Pat in Syracuse called in, and we were kind of going back and forth in frustration about what the end of the season could look like, where Syracuse would end up in the standings. I argued that they would at least finish above 500 in the regular season. I didn't imagine that they would lose to Pitt to end the regular season. I mean, seriously, the ugliest cherry on top of what's been an awful tenure for head coach Adrian Autry. But then they did. Then they actually went home to close the regular season after a 4-game skid and played like they didn't want to be there and lost to Pitt in overtime. I mean, how do you even end up in overtime with a team like Pitt? Just really, really disappointing. But hey, on a positive note, Donnie Freeman named to the All-ACC Honorable Mention team. I think a kid that is certainly at that level, when you look at the rate stats, maybe more like a third teamer, but of course he's going to get knocked a little bit with the lack of games he played due to the injury throughout the middle of the season. So just a side note that we can talk about throughout this pregame show. But going forward, I think it's important to also look at the last time Syracuse and SMU met. Now, I kind of put this game in this light. If you get the version of Syracuse and the version of SMU that met each other in the Dome back on February 14th, where Syracuse won by 1 point, I think just by law of averages, you would suggest SMU would win a close game on a neutral court, a.k.a. the ACC tournament, the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. But there are other factors that actually sway both sides. My first factor would be, one, Syracuse is not playing nearly as good as they were since their last win, which was February 14th. Well, they had a win since then, but since their last marquee win, February 14th, when they won by 1 versus SMU in a last-second manner. It was that Nate George layup with just a couple seconds to go to spoil that game away. Their second of 2 consecutive quad 2 wins. And again, kind of their last glimmer of hope over a month ago. Now, on the other side, though, as I've mentioned, SMU without B.J. Edwards, their third leading scorer, certainly one of their best players, and a player that was a factor in that game where Syracuse limited Boopie Miller, who was obviously the star of the show when it comes to SMU. Boopie Miller's hit a half-court buzzer beater, and also, of course, just is a big-time player overall. His figures are just ridiculous this year, 5th in the ACC in scoring. B.J. Edwards, again, though, was a contributor, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 of 9 shooting in that 1-point loss at the Dome back on Valentine's Day. But again, Boopie Miller, who's supposed to be this superstar, was held to 0 points in the first half in that loss in Syracuse. So that brings me to one final thing. If B.J. Edwards isn't playing and Syracuse limits Boopie Miller the way that they certainly did well and had to do in order to get that win back on Valentine's Day, there's one last player they got to worry about. And this is kind of a weird one. But for whatever reason, SMU's 6-man, Jaden Toombs, was the leading scorer in that loss among all shooters that night. 19 points off the bench, 5 rebounds, 7 of 11 shooting. I don't know if that's going to happen again, but if SMU gets some sort of extra scorer, which they've needed, and Jaden Toombs has had to step up since B.J. Edwards has been injured 4 games now. Again, directly coincides with this SMU 4-game losing streak. It really begs the question, if SMU gets Toombs or some other scorer to step up like Toombs did last time around, I think Syracuse has their hands full. So there really is this yin and this yang. I mean, Vegas has SMU with a slight margin of victory. Again, minus 4.5 points, the line for them. But they're without B.J. Edwards. But Syracuse has been playing like they've wanted their season to be over. Now, Paulie and Steve were talking on Orange Nation earlier today saying, of course this team's going to show up and play like they want to be there. And I agree. I think you can only play so defeated for so long. And unfortunately, it shouldn't take the ACC tournament to turn up the notch. But I think it will, right? So I expect a competitive contest tonight. Do I expect Syracuse to win? I think minus 4.5 for SMU is very fair. But there is a world where without B.J. Edwards and without a player who's inexperienced like Jaden Toombs being able to step up. I mean, again, Toombs had 19 points against Syracuse earlier this year. He averages 5 points per game, less than, as a matter of fact. If they don't get an extra guy to step up, I mean, I think it'll have to be kind of Syracuse dragging SMU down in a low-scoring slugfest. Because Lord knows Syracuse could certainly find a way to score decently enough against SMU tonight. SMU's defense is very poor. So it comes down to whether or not Syracuse can limit SMU's offense. With that being said, Syracuse did have a good shooting night against SMU in that game back on Valentine's Day. 47% from the field, 36.7% from the three-point line. They got beat on the glass, though, and that'll be one thing to change this time around. But they minimized their turnovers, too, which will be something that we'll have to watch out for because, man, were those turnovers really sloppy against Pitt just a few days ago. Donnie had a great game, 18 points, 5 of 11 shooting. Nate George, 16 points, 6 assists. And Nate George coming off a 28-point game in that horrible loss to Pitt at home, by the way. So Nate George, a player to watch. Nate Kings, 13 points. And then how about Kyan Anthony, who's probably not going to play tonight? He's listed as questionable. And that may just be kind of a custom of coaching here, listing him as questionable. You know, Sadiq White listed as quote-unquote probable. I don't know if there's really any point to playing either guy. I'd love to see Sadiq White get on the floor. But yeah, Kyan Anthony was a factor in that SMU win. 13 points. One of the highest scoring games he's had all year. 5 of 10 from the field. And fitting to the storyline coming into this contest, in the SMU game in particular, J.J. Starling really struggled. Just 4 points. And lo and behold, yeah, he hasn't been scoring that much recently, has he? 2 points in back-to-back games. So how about we pivot and look back to some more fun and fond times in conference tournament play. Let's get to Today in SU History, brought to you by Ferone & Son Funeral Home, and look back at fonder times. This Day in SU Memories is brought to you by Ferone & Son Funeral Home. Celebrate your loved one with help from Ferone & Son Funeral Home, or plan ahead for your pre-arrangement today. Visit them at 1500 Park Street in Syracuse or at FeroneSonInc.com. On this day, March 10th, 2011, I was a wee little lad, and Syracuse was the number 11 team in the country. And they pulled off a vintage Big East tournament win, defeating number 17 St. John's 79-73 in Madison Square Garden. Cuse was down 37-32 at halftime. How about a gutsy performance, which I'm trying to muster and manifest with this conversation right now. They were down 5 at halftime, and then stormed out of the locker room, and with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left, tied it 70 apiece with St. John's. Fab Melo and Brandon Trish sparked a little 5-point swing to kind of seal the game, and they walked away with that 79-73 score to win in the first round of the Big East tournament. They went on to lose in the next round to UConn in the semifinal round. Brandon Trish with 22 points, Chris Joseph 14, Scoop Jardine with 10. Fab Melo, I feel like this was a box score issue. This just doesn't sound right to me, but apparently Fab Melo came off the bench in that game. It said Bai Musakita started. That must have been kind of just a customary thing. Maybe Fab Melo was banged up. I can't remember. I was 8 years old. But 12 points, 4 rebounds for the man, the myth, the legend, Fab Melo. May he rest in peace. So Syracuse ultimately got a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament that year, beat Indiana State in the first round, and then lost to Marquette by 4 in the round of 32. So with that, in light of talking about Syracuse getting a marquee win in a conference tournament back in 2011, when they were certainly more consistent in the postseason in the Big East, I have a fun fact for you guys and just some food for thought. If you guys want to call in and talk about this disparity that I'm about to talk about, 315-437-7644. So paging all Syracuse fans, you want to reminisce on some Big East numbers, call in right now, because listen to this. Cuse's all-time record in the Big East tournament, 34-31. That's a .523 winning percentage. Modest, but above average. That's good. I think in a conference tournament, having a winning record at all is seen as very good, because that's obviously stiffer competition. You're playing usually the cream of the crop in the conference tournament, especially Syracuse back then, always getting buys and playing, top 10 seeds at least, which back then, you're top 10 in the Big East, you're probably making the tournament. I think especially in 2011. The all-time record for Syracuse in the ACC tournament, smaller sample size albeit, but not nearly as pretty, just 6-10. That is a .375 winning percentage. So let me circle back. Big East tournament for Syracuse all-time, 34-31. They had 5 Big East championships. ACC tournament all-time, 6-10. They have never won back-to-back games in the ACC tournament, period, ever, point blank, ever. They have never won back-to-back games in the ACC tournament, ever. The furthest they have ever made it was the quarterfinal. And that was because they got a first-round bye and then won a game. Not good. Syracuse, I think this kind of opens up a bigger trend of conversation here. Just has not been nearly as dominant since the ACC. Ooh, shocker, I know. But I just wanted to talk about that because when they were in the Big East, man, they won games in the tournament. Not in the ACC, just 6-10. Again, have never won back-to-back games in the ACC tournament. I remember last year, they get that first-round win, a competitive one at that, and then they lost in a buzzer beater to Wake Forest. Like, they literally have not been able to buy back-to-back wins in the ACC tournament. And how fitting would it be for Syracuse to just, for whatever reason, for no reason at all, as a matter of fact, win back-to-back games in the ACC tournament this year? How hilarious would that be? Because it would be the two most pointless back-to-back wins in ACC tournament history. Not really. Of course, you always want Syracuse to win. It kind of boosts their stock, if you will, for whoever this next coach may be. And I guess gives recruits a little bit of a glimmer of, oh, Syracuse isn't that bad. I don't know. We can try and reason for why these wins would matter, but it's kind of just us parlaying it into the final conversation, which is what's next in terms of leadership. Unfortunately, that starts with the AD, which we have not found out about yet. But again, you guys want to talk about anything Syracuse related or even just the nice weather outside. And if you're tuning in on the radio, 97.7 FM, 100.1 FM, thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to see my big nose and glasses on Twitch or YouTube, it's QSportsTalk.com. Call in 315-437-7644. All right, coming up, Syracuse hasn't had a real shot against a quad one opponent in a real long time. But tonight, they may have a puncher's chance because of one thorn in the Mustang side. I've already hinted at it, and we'll talk about that next on the Burdick Toyota pregame show. ESPN Radio. I think my chat is delayed. Let's see. How about I just let's pay attention to the YouTube chat for once. I'm literally never on the YouTube chat. How's everyone doing today? Hey, what's up, Cam? I guess maybe there's not as many Twitchers right now because it is during the workday. How's everyone doing today, y'all? Y'all watching from work or what? Nobody in the YouTube chat. Paul, I did something to my neck. I'm just complaining to you. That's all, Paul. I slept wrong. I don't know what I did. But I'm all sorts of tight today. I guess I did lift yesterday and I'm an old man. And my girlfriend's always like, you need to do yoga. What? Oh.
Are you Stephen Fonte? What happened here?
Oh, tell Paul he looks a lot like a slightly inflated Peter Pan. Is that from earlier? Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's Gaper.
Yeah, that's from
classic
earlier.
Gaper.
I can tell you why nobody's here. So
it's the middle of the day.
No. So, well, maybe. But the main reason is every 3 hours, people get notifications. So if we end a stream and then start another before 3 hours, nobody gets a notification.
Dang, that sucks.
That's how Twitch works.
Classic Twitch.
So, yeah, that's why nobody really knows. But what are you, what'd you do to your neck,
I don't know,
Stephen
dude.
Fonte?
It's tight. NC State will eventually open. Would imagine they make a phone call. To whom?
What?
What is Philly talking about? NC State makes a phone call to who?
No, that's not. That's That's
Not accurate. I got a notification for this. Well, Philly, that's because you're goated with the sauce.
Yeah, because, if we, oddly enough,
for Hodgson. Okay.
No, but he doesn't mean NC State. What school do you mean? NCSU.
NCSU.
What school? Darn it. I don't remember what school it is. But, yeah, well, then I don't know what to tell you because, majority of people don't get any notification unless it's 3 hours after something starts. Because there was one day I had to start because the stream wouldn't start.
Oh, you said North Carolina State.
Really?
NCSU is not going to open up. What?
No.
Am I tripping?
It has to be a mistake.
Oh, you think Will Wade's going to go to LSU?
Oh, I see what you mean. I see. Okay, yeah, all right.
Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, he goes back there.
I mean, he does have a good pedigree.
Goes back there because that's where he was when he got fired. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
Actually, I've heard people talk about that, the odds of him doing that. I don't know, though, but at the same time, he's built something really good at NC State. Okay, Philly. I like that. I understand now. I understand where you're coming from. Back to action, segment 2 of the Burdick Ford and Burdick Toyota pregame show. Syracuse men's basketball in the ACC tournament. First round begins 4:30 p.m. tip-off on the ACC network. They take on 11 seed SMU. Syracuse earns the 14 seed. Underwhelming finish to the regular season. We're talking all things Syracuse sports here on QSportsTalk.com and ESPN Radio. Kyle Marshak hanging out with you for the next 45 minutes. Call in. Tell us what you want to see tonight. Tell us, I don't know, your favorite ice cream flavor. 315-437-7644 or 315-4ESPN44. Time to get to our Krause Hospital injury report, and that is going to be what I teased in the last segment, kind of the key to this game for Syracuse. SMU is banged up. They're amidst a 4-game losing streak, and it's directly coincided with a key player who's been injured for the past 4 games. B.J. Edwards is questionable tonight, tweaked his ankle in that loss at Cal. They proceeded to lose at Stanford. And then they had another reasonable loss at home versus number 22 Miami, but then a kind of underwhelming quad 1 loss on the road at Florida State. And that was kind of the cherry on top for them. They finished the season in a regular or a similar fashion to Syracuse. And now we're here where Syracuse last time around beat SMU by 1 at home. And you're thinking, okay, well, if they meet a neutral court, I don't know how strong their odds are this time. But now SMU kind of balances things back out by saying, well, our second, maybe third best player is out. B.J. Edwards, 13.3 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists. He kind of does a little bit of everything. Also the team leader in steals, one of the best steal guys in the ACC, 2.5 steals per game. Sam Walters, kind of a non-factor, a guy that's deep off the bench, kind of gets garbage minutes, maybe a little bit better than that for SMU. Also out. Again, kind of a non-factor. But the injury report is important for Syracuse, too. Not only in this game, but kind of going forward, too, right? Like, how can the 2 freshmen that are questionable finish the season strong? And does that parlay into them feeling a little bit better about where they stand amongst the talent that may be recruited with whoever this new head coach may be for next year? And do they stick around? Kyan Anthony listed as questionable. He did not play last game. Sadiq White was questionable last game, now listed as probable. He did not play last game. Between those 2 freshmen, I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think they'll return next year? Which one would you choose if you had to choose? It would be a really weird world if Kyan Anthony, considering his last name, did not return to Syracuse next year. But then again, who would want to return to Syracuse in the state of the program that they are in? And we're getting word from the chat, Philly, saying Kyan is confirmed out, Sadiq confirmed playing. Okay, so this was most recently updated just a couple hours ago. I'm looking at the ACC injury report every morning, so that's a quick update. Shout out to Philly. So we will have Sadiq confirmed to play tonight, and that is big. Now, we have Mike McAllister coming up in just a few minutes here on QSportstalk.com and ESPN Radio, coming at you from 24/7 Sports. I believe he's down there in Charlotte right now, and so kind of getting a little bit of an update from him will be important because with B.J. Edwards out, but then, hey, Syracuse with probably one of their best bench players back in. He was listed as probable this morning, now confirmed to be playing tonight in Sadiq White. Who knows? Do they have that puncher's chance? So after this conversation with Mike McAllister, we'll dig a little bit more into the scouting report on SMU, but just as kind of a brief overview, with the scouting report on SMU built by IKEA, everything you need from IKEA is now at Destiny USA. Go check it out and dream the possibilities at your new IKEA Syracuse. Well, again, Syracuse, the story is pretty clear with their opponent, SMU, the second best scoring offense in the ACC, but the worst scoring defense in the ACC. 85.9 points per game with SMU in terms of scoring. Pretty darn good if you ask me. But they're also the second best three-point shooting team in the ACC. Elite ball movement, too, from SMU, third in assists. That's 17.1 assists per game. And then 20th in the KenPom. When it comes to offensive efficiency, SMU does a lot well on the offensive side of the ball. So when you look at how poor the defense is for Syracuse, it kind of brings you to a little bit of the conversation of, okay, well, they'd probably just have to drag down SMU's offense with them and play a low-scoring game in order to slug it out with this SMU team. But then again, as I've talked about all show, they're without one of their best players in B.J. Edwards. So let's look at who will be on the floor, continuing this scouting report on SMU built by IKEA. And Paul, I don't know if you see the screeners acting up on my end, so just shoot me a text if I'm good to take on Mike McAllister. But with that being said, Boopy Miller is easily the best player for SMU. The Wake Forest transfer has blossomed into kind of the I guess you could say the staple of the revival of the Mustangs as they've transitioned over to the ACC. So with that, how about we do go to the phone lines, the Massage Envy hotlines. The man of the hour, it is Mike McAllister from 24/7 Sports. Mike, how we doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for hopping on. I shot you a text last night, and I was like, might be the final show. We got to end on a high note and talk to the man, the myth, the legend, and kind of get your thoughts. Are you down there in Charlotte? Or are you staying up in the beautiful New York?
I'm in beautiful central New York.
Well, at least the weather's nice this time around. You kind of got lucky. But I've heard it's gorgeous down there in Charlotte, too. I know you were talking to Paulie yesterday, and I'm sure he was like, man, I'm jealous of the weather down there.
Yeah, they don't have to deal with the snow that we do, obviously. So good thing is that almost, not quite all of it in my front yard, but most of it is melted. So hopefully it doesn't come back. Yeah,
there's still those like muddy snowbanks in the side of the road. And I guess that brings me to my first point with you, Mike. It's been a muddy finish to the regular season. What do you make of that pit loss, and does that kind of kill some momentum going into the ACC tournament?
I'm not sure they really would have had much momentum anyway. It just kind of, stinks a little bit to go in with a 5-game losing streak, and you were hoping, that JJ could get a win on senior night, and then, most expecting, obviously, that would be the last game that Red coaches in the Dome. So even those that, think Syracuse needs to move on from him, still you would think as Syracuse fans would have a lot of respect for what, he has done for the program as a player, as an assistant, and everything else. And so wanting him to go out on a high note with his last game at the Dome, that would have been nice too. But as far as overall and what it means for Syracuse in the ACC tournament, I don't really think it means all that much. They're not playing good basketball. Even if they had found a way to win that game, Pitt stinks. Pitt's not very good. And so even if you win the game by 2 or you lose the game by 2, that's a game that earlier in the season when Syracuse was playing better, they were in control up double digits for a majority of that game on the road. So that just kind of tells you how things have changed from where they were, a couple months ago.
Yeah, that was the next point I wanted to make with you that I was curious about. Kind of when you look at the season from 50,000 feet, it's really bizarre. And, there are obvious reasons to it, but it's really bizarre seeing just kind of the degradation of play overall. Like they win by double digits on the road at Pitt, but then they lose in overtime at home. If you could kind of key it down to like 2 or 3 things, what would you say have been kind of the biggest failings of Syracuse basketball this year?
Well, Well, they've been very inconsistent on offense, right? Some games it looks like they're fantastic and they move the ball and they hit outside shots. In other games, it looks like this is their first time playing together. So very inconsistent offensively. But I think the biggest thing for me is the intensity and the effort that they played with on the defensive end. Early in the season, you think back to the games against Houston and Tennessee, and they were getting in people's faces. They were making it very difficult. They were forcing turnovers, among the nation's leaders and fewest points per game allowed. They looked like a really good defensive team. One of the nation's best team in terms of blocking shots. So the fact that they've gone from that to a team that can't stop Pitt, can't stop Wake Forest, teams that aren't nearly at the same level talent-wise as some of those teams they played early in the season, to me, that's the biggest thing. You look back to some games against Hofstra and games against Boston College, and feels like after those games, things kind of started to derail a little bit. But I just point back to the way that they're playing defensively now compared to really early in the season.
How much do you think, maybe just Autry by himself was a factor into an inability to get the team back and invested after, what was two pretty degrading losses with Hofstra and then that second blow against Boston College? I feel like ever since Boston College, they never quite got back on track.
Yeah, I think there's probably blame to go around there, right? You can certainly put some of that on the coaching staff for not getting them all back in, but at the same time, players have a responsibility to get themselves motivated and not just go with this season isn't going the way we thought, so we're going to kind of pack it in and, not give the same level of effort as they were early in the season. But, to go along with that, seems like there's a handful of plays every game where you're just scratching your head as to how someone could make that decision. I go back to the last game against Pitt, and this wasn't really necessarily the reason they lost the game, but just kind of is it sort of tells you the tale of where things are, which is once Pitt went up by 2 in overtime, and Nate George gets the ball. He's a step inside of half court. There's still a little bit over 2 seconds to go. William Kyle is coming up to set a screen. It looked like he had the ability to continue to dribble, take another 2 big dribbles, and still pull up from a much more reasonable chance to make a 3-point shot as opposed to chucking it from half court. And so there's just these lapses where it doesn't seem like they're all there. From a mental standpoint, fully, completely invested. And it could just be that they're flawed players and they're making mistakes, but it just doesn't feel like it's the same level of locked in and, whatever phrase you want to use, juicing station and level 5 and all those types of things. This doesn't feel like they're at that same level as they were early in the season, even at the beginning of ACC play prior to that loss to Boston College.
Yeah, whatever reason that is. There's been a pretty visible lack of intensity. And even in the Pitt game, they had a portion of maybe the second half for 10 minutes where they had a little bit of a scoring streak, stormed back into the lead, showed that intensity, and you're like, all right, they're playing at least decent basketball, and then it peters off again. So I certainly see that inconsistency. So on the point of coaching specifically, how about we just draw the comparison? Andy Enfield, I'd say, has done a nice job overall with SMU. It's a small sample size. If Syracuse had a coach like him, how far do you think they would have gone this year?
I think you probably see. My thing with Andy Enfield is I feel like he is a decent coach. He's a good coach. He can get you to kind of that 10 to 12 loss type of team that's right on the bubble. Maybe a couple of games inside, a couple of games outside most years, and you're going to kind of consistently be there. I don't think you're ever going to be to the point where you're at what Syracuse fans are expecting, which is a team that gets ranked more often than not, and a team that is safely in the tournament more often than not a team that is, scraping by. You think about towards the end of the Jim Boeheim era when Syracuse seemed to be on the bubble every single year, and there were a lot of fans that said that's not what Syracuse basketball is. That's not what I'm used to. That's not what my expectations are. And I feel like if you had an Andy Enfield type of coach, that's essentially what you would be every single year. You just look at his history since he's gone to high majors, and more often than not, that seems to be what he is. So I think he's a good coach. I don't know that he's a great coach. I don't know that he's someone that if you gave him this roster, all of a sudden Syracuse is a top 25 team and has single-digit losses and is safely in the tournament.
All right, that's a fair comparison. Focusing on SMU tonight, they're without B.J. Edwards in all likelihood. I know he's listed as questionable, but that's more of just a customary thing. I mean, his ankle seems busted up. Let's say he doesn't play, which is very likely. How does that affect tonight's game? Is that putting Syracuse much farther within reach of a win tonight?
Potentially. I mean, he didn't have a huge game the first time they played. He played 35 minutes. He had 10 points and 6 rebounds. So he had a good game. I wouldn't say a great game. I thought they did a really good job on Boopie Miller in that first game. He was just 3 for 11 shooting. But I think the biggest key is, like, SMU out-rebounded Syracuse in the last game, but it was only a 6-rebound margin, so it wasn't enormous. I think Syracuse has to do a good job on the boards again today. They only turned it over 8 times, which is one of their lower totals in recent games. So, I think they have to do a good job of taking care of the basketball again. And then something else that's been a little bit uncharacteristic of them, they made 11 3-pointers in that game.
Yeah.
And, so I'm looking, and there's multiple things that Syracuse did that were a little bit out of character for them, and they're probably going to have to do those things if they're going to win this one. They held SMU to 78 points. It's not a great defensive game. It's not a horrible defensive game, but they only forced 6 turnovers. So I think they're probably going to have to force more than that. They're probably going to have to shoot similarly, and they're going to have to hold their own on the boards if they're going to pull this one off. The good thing is if you're looking for, some positive things for Syracuse is that Nate George had a 6-assist, 2-turnover game in that one. Donnie Freeman had 18 points. They got good contributions off their bench. Ryan Anthony with 13 points. That was his best game in a while. Of course, obviously he's not playing, but just you're looking for some positive things. So Tyler Betsy had a decent game. I think if you're Syracuse, you're hoping that they play with a sense of urgency and play with some renewed life, saying, hey, this is our postseason. Let's see if we can make a run at this and show everyone that what they've seen for the last several games isn't what they are. But I don't think anyone is going into it expecting that they're going to make some sort of a long run. I think the good news is that they've had a positive experience against this team previously. They won a game, and they're not going to have one of those primary weapons, one of their starters in this game. So that certainly helps you a little bit. But I also look at the last game, and again, they did some things like 3-point shooting, not a horrible day on the boards, and taking care of the basketball that has gone the opposite way during this 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, I was going to say the same exact thing and was actually going to ask you for your keys to the game, but you hit it right there. And you and I are certainly on the same page. All of the struggles they've ever had this year, they actually minimized as much as they could in that particular 1-point win at home versus SMU, right? They minimized the turnovers. They rebounded okay enough. And for once in a lifetime, they shot more than 10 threes in a game that actually landed. So I guess this brings me to kind of my final point, considering B.J. Edwards is out, but then Syracuse at the same time not playing as strong as they had last time they met SMU on home soil. Now on a neutral court tonight, do you think that 4.5-point line in favor of SMU is kind of a fair line?
Seems a little bit small to me, honestly, with the way Syracuse has been playing. And, I think SMU, they're on the outside looking in as far as the bubble goes, but they're a team that if they win, 3 games, including a couple of, 1 or 2 against, give them some quad 1, quad 2 opportunities, they have a chance, I think, to play their way back into consideration. So I think they're going to come out and play desperate. Wouldn't surprise me if this was a game that, kind of hovered around 4 to 8 points for a while and then midway through the second half, SMU started to pull away a little bit and ended up being 12, 14, something like that point margin. So the 4.5 felt a little bit small to me, but I also think that tells you that Vegas doesn't think, I don't think it's a reflection of Syracuse necessarily. I think it's that they don't think all that highly of SMU. So if Syracuse is going to win this game, they're going to have to make sure that Donnie Freeman is the best player on the floor tonight. I think that's another key that I hadn't mentioned previously that's important for them.
Yeah, Donnie's got a Donnie tonight for sure. All right, Mike, I really appreciate you for hopping on.
Thanks, no problem.
All right, take care. All right, that was Mike McAllister. Shoot him a follow on Twitter, McAllister Mike 1, publisher of Syracuse on 24/7. He's a longtime writer for Syracuse on 24/7 Sports. All right, we got to hit a break, and then we'll zoom through our final 2 segments of the Burdick Toyota pregame show. You're listening to ESPN Radio. I should have had Mike on, like, contributing a lot more often earlier on. Enfield capitalized in the big tournament run and has been smart about the jobs he's taken. He's also been smart about getting out of town while he's still hireable elsewhere. Yeah, like, he timed his exit from USC very well, I would say. Ooh, I'm sweating. Cool. Yeah, I went really long in the first segment. Cool. All right, I can do that. Bet. Yo, Paul, can I kill an ad just to give us an extra 30 seconds? Or I guess you can. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Let's go, Cuse. One at a time here. Hashtag extend the red. Okay, bowling ball. I love the optimism. Jim Boeheim in the ACC network tonight. All right. Dude, the caffeine in the Celsius is killing me. Main reason we failed. Pat and Syracuse calling in. Let's go. What is a pregame show without my guy, Pat? We're getting an ad for Mark Patrick Hypnosis. He cures people of cigarette addictions. That is baller. I've always wondered if that is real. Unfortunately, I'm not addicted to cigs, so I would never know. Syracuse is going back to win the ACC tourney, and Red will be back next year. Bank it. I love it, Kevin from Liverpool. I love it. If Adrian Autry returns next year after winning the ACC tournament, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. I used hypnosis. It made me start smoking. Same, Gavendo, same. Guards are the key against SMU, just like the last game where Zoom action and PNR heavy, yeah. Oh, well, so actually, that's one thing that I was going to write down, too. I feel Syracuse, at least to meets the eye, is also not very good at defending the pick and roll. And that's SMU's action big time. They're very much man in the mirror, except SMU has better shooters. So what happened to AD getting announced today? I don't know. Yeah, that was the word, and then here we are. I smoked for 30 years and tossed them in the trash. Attaboy, Kev. That's just sheer willpower right there. You just quit cold turkey? Love a good long dart. Shoot, I mean, get a couple Guinnesses in me and some fall weather. I'll step out in the cool air and smoke a dart. Kev, that's badass, dude. That's just doing it like cold turkey. That's badass. Yeah, good for you, Kev.
I guarantee future outcome.
This is ESPN Radio
97.7 FM Syracuse
and 100.1 FM Oswego.
All right.
This is the Burdick Ford and Burdick Toyota pregame show.
We are back for the penultimate segment of the Burdick Ford, Burdick Toyota pregame show. Syracuse men's basketball in the ACC tournament. First round tonight. Amidst a 5-game losing skid, they run into the 11-seed SMU Mustangs, a team they beat at home by 1 point back on Valentine's Day less than a month ago. And here they are in a must-win contest to try and parlay some success at the end of a rather disappointing season. I know a man who can talk about a disappointing season when I see one, so we'll go to the Massage Envy hotlines and pick up Pat in Syracuse. What's going on, Pat?
I just got 2 points. The first one is real simple. Nobody wants to pile on Red and step on his grave. The whole point was yesterday on your airways, there was excuses being made for Red. And I want to make it crystal clear. Those excuses have been going on for years, and it needed to be put in its proper place. Okay, Red Autry failed for really one main reason. And this year it wasn't NIL. Okay, this is a roster that should have been in the top half of the ACC tournament. Yeah. And I will argue that most of the other coaches in the league would have got it done. Most.
Okay.
You want to split hairs and say, Red's not the worst coach in the conference or the worst coach in the Power Four. I'm not interested in that argument. But what I will say is, it was very evident to me that people were saying that the roster construction was part of this team's demise. And I'll make an argument. Go back to the Andrew White year, okay? Once they finally, and I was on the airways then saying, why is Andrew White at the 2? For 3 months, Boeheim had Andrew White at the 2. And here's the point with this. The same thing with this team. Nate Kings is the best 2-guard on this team, and he very rarely plays the 2. If Nate Kings was the 2, figure out who you want at the 1, whether it's JJ or George. I also will argue that I think George would have been a better point guard if he had an elite shooter at the 2. That's one piece. The second piece is Sadiq is something that, from an offensive standpoint, he's not above average, but in terms of his energy, hustle, rebounding, and defense, he's a good enough player to play in the conference. And what that would do is, getting Kings away from the 3, it would allow Freeman and Sadiq and Kyle to, at times, and I want to be real careful with all the haters, at times have those 3 on the floor together. Now, people will be stupid and say that lineup has weaknesses. They're not good offensively, but any lineup that we put out is going to have weaknesses. My argument is, with defense and the zone particularly, that lineup could have got it done and won more games, especially when, what's this team's biggest weakness? Rebounding. They couldn't rebound the ball. You're trying to tell me a lineup with Sadiq, Freeman, and Kyle in the front court can't rebound? Well, then that's a whole nother problem. And then you've got an above average rebounder at the 2, and then between JJ and George, that's enough size to at least hold their own with the rebounding. I think that lineup would have been a much better lineup. And people could say what they want, like Sadiq and Freeman can't play together, and you can't have Kyle in there, and it clogs the lane. And I understand all that, but all these other lineups have been hot garbage. Okay, you can't have a 2-guard. JJ Starling cannot be your shooting guard when he can't shoot. Number one, he might be the only Power 4 guard who has a below 50% free throw percentage. I mean, try to find another one. You might do it, but it's going to be hard. So the point is, No adjustments with the big season as an outlook, and then his in-game adjustments. He got out-coached and crushed every second half.
I completely agree with you.
Sitting here,
I'm going to have to cut you off because we're running short on time, but I agree with you. They've had the talent to do it this year. All right, Pat, take care. All right, that was Pat in Syracuse running us right up to the end of this pregame show. So let's hit the dream outcome brought to you by Liverpool Pool and Spa real quick. Think if Syracuse in a dream outcome tonight wins against SMU, it's got to be a low-scoring affair. 74-70 would be my final score. My real final prediction, SMU 80, Syracuse 70. SMU's offense is just too good, even without B.J. Edwards. I hear everything Pat is saying. They've had the lineup to do it this year. Let's see if that type of lineup shows up tonight. It's a 4:30 p.m. tip-off in the ACC Network. I've been Kyle Marshak on the Burdick Toyota pregame show, and I will see you guys 5 minutes after the final buzzer. Go Cuse.
This
Bring it on. Near or far, day or night, Burdick BMW has a huge selection of inventory on site with more to come. The BMW X5 SUV is a natural leader in so many ways. Looks, safety, technology, power, and much more. See for yourself and lease the 2026 BMW X5 xDrive 40i at...
All right. Let me just clear. Just going to make sure. Believe you do. All right. Kev, I'm honored, by the way. Just want to say that. Let's win a basketball game, shall we? Turn on TV. Oh, we're not on the USA? There we go. All right. Oh, let's win a basketball game. All right, how are we? How does Steve? I don't know. Get some volume on this, shall we? All right. Well, Jen, that is why the hotel sucks. That is why. Look at Jimbo, orange tie and all. What's everyone's score predictions? How are we feeling? I'm oddly confident. I think it's because we beat them last time. It was only by a point, and Poopy had a horrible game. And as Mario, Steve and I agreed, we don't think that's going to happen again. But, all right, I'm confident. I like the confidence. I was going to say, Kevin, we're scoring 88,722 points. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm confident. I've been confident, though, for a lot of the games, stupidly. And I was very confident for Pitt. I was telling a couple of the other people I was like, we're going to beat them. No problem. I've been telling that for a week. And what happened? So clearly, I don't know much. Like, there's a chance. Yeah, that's the thing, Phil, is what they have. I mean, they just have so much more to play for than us at the moment. I mean, of course, we string maybe 2 wins here, and, you know. Jim's confident. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we already have an upset, I'd say. I mean, Stanford should beat Pitt. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, one lower seed's already won, so it's March, man. Who knows? What's this Gatorade thing that Boopy's use? Like, is this like yogurt or something? What is this? They have so many products. I have no idea what they have anymore. Is it just powder? He's just protein powdering. You know, a lot of people do protein powder. Why are we silent? Because he didn't combine the 2 breaks like I told him to. That's why. All right, we should be golden now. Ay, caramba. On the bright side, we have Otto. Say it's a better mascot. So can we avenge nonsense for Pat saying Andrew White for 2 or 3 months? Well, you know, every once in a while. Good job, Luke Hancock. I'll pay you the big bucks. I hate Gatorade powder. So it is powder. Okay. I was like, do they have like yogurt now out of nowhere? Like, what's happening here? Like one of those like yogurt pouches? You just got to win today. That's it. Oh, yes. All right. FreeMLB.tv is back for T-Mobile members. That's huge. Just got that email. It's going to be a good day. I got that email. I think we're about 3 minutes out. They're a little late due to the, I think, Pitt game ending a little later. Yeah, that's it. Survive in advance. So just win today. Who cares about tomorrow? Before I spill Kyle's Celsius, I'm going to move that. I already know the answer, but just for the sake of asking it, we get offered, win a couple games, but then you lose. Maybe win 2 games in this tournament, and for some reason they offer us the NIT. Would anyone in the chat be happy if they accepted that? I mean, there's no way they do, but just to gauge where everyone's at. Oh, we get West Durham. Everyone loves him. I would. More hoops to watch. Yeah, that's kind of my thing on it. I mean, of course, Red's not going to... That's the thing. I mean, who's going to be the coach for it, right? But... yeah, well, you're not wrong, John. But... But yeah, that's my thing. The NIT to me is honestly a waste of time. But then the flip side, more basketball. Why not? Yeah, and of course they decline it. I know they decline it. But that's saying if so many teams decline it, right, eventually they might fall to us. But we're not going to have a coach at that point. So that's another reason why they decline. I think even with a coach, we'd decline it, to be honest. I don't know. More games. More stuff to talk about on Orange Nation, to be honest, outside of just AD and coach. We've been able to recycle that for a month, it seems, at this point. I don't know, but we've managed to do it. I mean, just... What was... Right? Yeah, I'm not from here, right? And I went to Syracuse. So I came up here 3 years ago. And growing up, Syracuse was, of course, a big school for me. But, Andrew, join our watch party. We're live on Twitch. You want to join our watch party? But there we go. The whole hate for Boeheim, it just, I get it. Maybe he stayed too long, but what that man did for the school, for the community. And
I kind of agree. I don't like the hate he got. Maybe he stayed too long, but...
Yeah, but the other thing is he earned the right to stay too long. He did. Should he have? No. But frankly, what he did, no one's ever going to recreate, I think.
I don't think that can happen again.
I don't think it'll happen in college basketball. Maybe Shire when I'm 40, right? In terms of longevity at a school, it seems. All right, George.
Think
way
about
off.
all the accomplishments.
Here, talk it to the mic. Because we're live on Twitch. Talk to the mic.
I mean, I think you got to think about all the accomplishments Boeheim made. Because you're not going to create all that extra stuff. You're not.
You're gonna have to hold this. It's a droopy.
No, it's sticking now.
On Gomez, we discussed some chocolate that had to get recalled due to undocumented traces of Cialis. This mic needs that chocolate.
Yeah, this game.
Dude, there we go. Push.
They skipped calling out the starting lineups, and I think it's because of the delay of the game.
There you go.
Because it was 5...
Pump fake Donnie. I mean, that just...
ish minutes on delay.
All right, early lead. Whenever you score him, I'm not going to...
Hey, I'm not going to complain. If we get it to work tomorrow, we get to work tomorrow.
It's true.
You know what?
Terrible communication on defense. Yeah, I mean, Kings, I don't think he gets the waiver, but then again, you just got to find a judge who went to the school, right? And you can get the waiver.
You get the right judge, you're going to get the waiver. That's just how.
Yeah, Trinidad Chambliss proved that one.
How it works for college athletes.
Hey, just someone get in front. Just all right.
Yeah, that's how it's going to kind of turn out.
Here, you got to close the door. You're going to have to close the door because they're working and we're going to be yelling. So then they're all going to get annoyed. I'd agree. It's far more likely than a lot of people. You feel better now?
Yeah, did you tell him what was going on?
No, I was just going to wait for you. Kyle just gave birth, for everyone wondering.
Just gave birth. Oh, great heavens. Kings is far more likely to get the waiver.
Yeah.
JUCO, right?
Well, he's got the JUCO year, and then he's got the year he barely played. Anyone remember what year that he played like 4 games or something? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
3 or 4 games?
I don't even remember the number. Like, what's the limit for games played? You know, like football's a crazy amount now. You can play a third of the season in college football.
Well, they'll give you. You just got to find the right judge in college football. You'll get the waiver. It doesn't matter who it is.
But will they pay Kings?
Yeah, I think they will.
Enough. I'm gonna make myself smell good, because I probably smell like I just got back from the bathroom. Had to give.
Well, if you went in there after someone at this office went to the bathroom, I feel really bad for you.
Well, Jen, have you ever had a cold before? I'm just kidding. I'm completely kidding.
My next year, there'd be no.
Paul, how you been, man?
I'm good. There we go. I think we first 2 or 3 turnovers early. Dude, Nate Kings.
Oh.
We got West Durham on the... Yeah, for everyone, I don't know if you all heard it, but Kyle hurt his neck because he's the next Steve Infanti.
I did something, dude. Is Steve always coming in like...
Steve's always injured. We're going with the man. Yeah, I mean, that's just too easy.
Passes it to the man?
That's just too easy. Offense right there, yeah.
I mean,
one pass, give it right back.
They can shoot it.
Yeah, they're the second best 3-point shooting team, I want to say, in the ACC.
Yeah, they are.
JJ is a lot more aggressive.
All the time, and you should see the behavior I saw from men when I worked. I have a buddy who has Crohn's, and he's passing kidney stones all the time.
I don't.
Like, he does it in his sleep now. I'm like, dude, when he's like 90 and he needs a catheter, it's gonna be like nothing to him.
It's gonna be you helping him out.
I promise you, I will not end up as a doctor. No one will ever trust me with their health. I was talking about smoking cigarettes earlier.
All I know is we're just throwing the ball around the perimeter.
Andrew, we're on the watch party. You want to join in?
I keep trying to get him to. There's mics on. All right, Boopy. There's a little heat check.
Yeah, we got mic 3 right there. You're on.
He's mic 4.
Oh.
This is mic 2.
Mic 1, 3, 4. Sorry.
No, yeah.
Yeah, mic 2's out of commission.
Yeah, mic 2's not working. All right, King's off to.
Ooh. Yeah, you missed it earlier. We were talking about it. How Boeheim deserved to stay extra.
That is quite the take.
I don't think he should have, but I think he earned the right to.
Okay, here's the thing with Boeheim. He literally could have stayed as long as he wanted to. Well, yes, the university started pushing him out, but if he gave resistance,
I think then they would have fired him, and they said, "Look, dude, we don't want to fire you. Can you just resign, please?"
Yeah, you think
he went out on his own.
I guess it did kind of look like that at
though.
the end.
Yeah,
I think he went out on his own terms.
I don't think he did.
I think he decided that things weren't going well at that point, ain't for him. So I think he just decided enough's enough.
All I know is we need to come out in the zone. That's what we got to do.
I'd like to see that, actually. I'd like to see them go back to have more zone.
Philly, I think ultimately, that's what I mean. He could have, when I say stayed as long as he wanted, through that contract, basically. But then they were like, dude, you got to move on. And they kind of then pushed him out at the end.
Damn, Jen.
It was fired or
Jen's
resigned.
badass.
Well, I think it was also like there were fans that did not agree with his coaching style.
Yeah.
Do you know is the post-game show CST only?
Oh, there you go.
I always forget that.
Dude, I gotta unbuckle it. I'm still.
You just unbuckled for everyone on Twitch, by the way. That was.
It's okay.
I was on camera.
It was one buckle. It's not like I was unzipping my pants.
Page down. There was a day Paulie, because now he walks to work and it was cold, and he went, "It's cold down there for me," and then he realized his zipper was down.
The score. What was it? 10-8 or some ish.
That's right, because Jen's hotel doesn't have it. Doesn't have ACC network.
Hotel. Where's she at?
I don't know why we just come out and don't just run.
14
Yeah,
to 10.
we're on 14-10. We're on the radio for a post game.
Cool. Beautiful.
Boopy to the bench. All right, here we go. 1-3-1. Falls back into a 3-2.
Yeah. A little fadeaway right now.
Honest to God, I'll give him that shot every day. I give it to him.
Oh, yeah, that was OKD. Who was that? That's not Yigatoglu. Was that BJ? Or Jaden Toombs, maybe? I don't remember the SMU players that well.
I don't remember.
Oh, Boopy. Boopy's got his shoes off on the bench. It looks like he's looking at his... Yeah, that's Boopy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his shoes off on the bench.
He's chilling. Putting his feet up.
Yeah, he's just kicking his feet up.
Good rebound.
Give me that.
No.
Oh.
Rebound. All right, go line. What did we shoot? I know we missed one free throw last game.
Back-to-back good rebounds right there.
We're 16 of 17, 17 of 18, something like that.
Would be so funny if they won.
They very easily could win this game.
16-12 SMU, Jen. Trying to cast on the TV, hoping it works. Stream East. Am I allowed to promote that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I just would warn Jen over certain things that would pop up if you go to Stream East. That's what I would say.
There are pop-up ads.
You're talking to the mic.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here hitting the mic with my hand. There are pop-up ads on Stream East, but if you look up Stream East, you click probably the first or second link, and you'll probably have to click around like 10 or 12 pop-up ads. But then it does indeed have a
nice little virus in there as well.
Yeah, it has the stream. Not going to say whether or not it's pirated, but it's free, and I'm a UFC fan, so trust me, I know it works.
Boopy's back.
Did you watch the UFC this past weekend?
I watched World Baseball Classic and I slept.
Yeah, I was watching it with Cass last night. Right? They played Mexico last night. Was that last night?
Yeah. Fantastic is what it was.
Yeah.
Tonight's Italy. There you go. Grab a rebound.
Mexico and Italy are like the same team to me, where like they have major leaguers, but they're not like stacked or anything. So it's just like they'll win a game or two. Hey, little knockdown at the top of the arc.
Good look off by Betsy right there.
Atta boy, Betsy. 16 all. Syracuse and SMU heading into the second timeout. Butte. What was I going to say? World Baseball Classic. How's Italy so far?
All right. They're 2-0.
2-0?
Yeah. If they win tonight, it's us and Italy who would move on. We're the second.
You see Czechia held Japan scoreless for 5 innings?
Yeah, Satoria did. Andre, that's his last name.
Andrzej Satoria.
Andre Satoria,
Yeah,
4 2/3. He's the guy who struck
He
out of
did it
Tani.
again, bro.
He's the guy who struck out of Tani in the last one. He then retired.
It's really impressive, like extremely impressive, because he's not a hard thrower, obviously. He's going out there and he's throwing junk.
He's throwing 69.
Yeah. He's
people.
throwing junk in the 70s the entire game. Very impressive. There's the score, 9-0.
Yeah, well, I mean, Chezia doesn't really have much after that.
Yeah. No, he's their best player, easily.
I got Taryn Vavra, played for the Orioles for a minute. Their leadoff hitter.
Oh, really? Played the Baltimore Orioles?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think a couple other teams. What site did he... Stream East, he said. There we go. What is that? 2 early threes for Kings?
Yeah.
I say early. We're 8 minutes in, but 2 threes for Kings. Guess still is early, really, but say we're into it now. Grab that rebound, Betsy.
Nothing. You'll do nothing.
Yes, pull that. I like a heat check. Maybe it wasn't time for it, honestly, but I like a heat check. Onions.
Onions. Early in the game, Syracuse doesn't... Oh, little step back.
George, for some reason, has fallen in love with that, and it just doesn't work most of the time.
Early in games, Syracuse never runs into the issue of dribbling themselves into a corner. And by that, I mean like literally posting up and backing themselves into no outlet.
Yeah.
Like the end of that Pitt game drove me nuts because Donnie's just trying to dribble to the paint. He gets stopped. Then he's posting up. He realizes he's not strong enough to just post up and work his way to the rim. He doesn't want to try and hit a fadeaway shot, so then he tries to pass it to someone else, and it's usually either a sloppy pass or it's someone else who's also incompetent. You know?
Incompetent?
I know incompetent's strong, but I mean, like, by then you're passing it to someone and you're basically saying, here, screw you. You try and go get a bucket with 3 seconds in the shot clock because I couldn't. And it's what everyone's talking about with the stagnance in the offense. It just drives me nuts.
All I know is for the second half, we got to be standing and clapping. Totally forgot to do that at the start of the game.
Shoot.
That's on me. That is on me. But yeah. I don't know. It's going to be this game's going to be won and lost, I think, in the first 5 minutes of the second half. If we come out how we always, it's over. If we actually come out and run around for a second and do some things. Is this supposed to rain? I hope not.
Yeah, it kind of looks like poop outside.
I hope not. Oh, here you go, Jen. I'm getting a Visit Florida ad. I don't see you in it, though. Are you sure you're in Florida?
Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the state of Florida.
Really? I love Florida.
I don't know, dude. Too many crackheads. Miami was a weird city.
It's Miami. Los Angeles.
NorCal say we could check?
Stream East.
Yeah, Stream East. I don't care if I'm on Twitch and YouTube saying this right now. These companies want to attack me. You're not getting that much money out of a 23-year-old, so I'll say it again. Shout out Stream East. Remember when Dana White just declared war against all pirating sites?
Yeah.
Andrew, what's up, brother?
Well, from what I'm observing, I think they can hang with these guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, we won.
We won by a shot last.
A win's a win, man.
Last time.
Yeah, a win's a win.
What's weird,
especially with this team, a win's a win.
Yeah,
but
I would take. Well, you know what sucks?
Playing, I think they can hang with these guys.
If Syracuse wanted to finish the season with at least a 500 record, they would have to win back-to-back games for the first time ever in the ACC tournament.
Yeah.
If they want to finish the season with a winning record, and this is all arbitrary, it really doesn't matter. But if they wanted to finish the season with a winning record, lo and behold, they would have to win 3 games in the ACC tournament, which is just never going to happen. So just saying that they're going to finish the season with a losing record.
I think odd things can happen, but I think the likeliness that can actually happen. Because who would they have to play? Don't they have to play, what did they say?
Was it Louisville next?
Louisville, and then I think they said Miami, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Miami would have the double bye. So I think the odds are obviously against them. But is it doable? If they win this game and they can play a better game than they showed when they played Louisville 2 weeks ago.
What's this camera? This camera.
I think
that in the ACC tournament.
I know.
A way they can. There's a way they can do it, but things would have to go right.
Yeah.
Is Boeheim? I didn't see. Is Boeheim sitting with Mel? I don't think so because he's on the.
He should be on air.
He's pre half and post.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or at least he's at the desk.
Maybe he is. He's Jim Boeheim. Who's gonna tell him no?
I saw him and was observing him closely last year at this exact tournament. I was covering it as a student, and
it's too easy.
He definitely kind of keeps to himself. Sometimes he'll just sit and watch it from the desk, which is right behind one of the hoops. So,
I agree, though. Tampa is a wonderful city. It's a wonderful city. Tampa's great, except for all what religion is Tom Cruise a part of?
Scientology.
Yeah, except for all the Scientologists that walk around in their suits.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Be far from there next week.
But dude, if you just pay the small price of $150 annually, you will purchase your own salvation.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't actually know how Scientology works, but that'd be a pretty smart scheme if that were. What is he doing? Well, at least he got the foul. 20-19, by the way, Jen. SMU leads.
Well, I expect them to be close. If they can hang in.
On Orange Nation, we all said they would lose.
Oh, I think the likeliness of them losing is favored. But I think
that's Andrew. He does stuff on. He runs the TK pregame, postgame, and then the ads
the man
during the game. Someone asked who's the other guy in the studio. I thought I'd let him know. They are getting when they get downhill. It's too easy. Now push.
Syracuse is getting lucky that SMU is missing these.
That's fine.
Goodness.
Hello. No, dude. That's fine.
Well, yeah.
They saw they had a 3-on-2 and they went.
Yeah, they had to go downhill. SMU just swatted that.
Fine.
Pierre just swatted the ball into the second row. But, I mean, you had to go take that to the rack and just see what you could do with it.
We're too nonchalant most of the time. Just push it. Push it real good.
Yeah, Syracuse is getting lucky that SMU is not drilling every three-pointer right now. SMU is 2 for 8 from downtown. Syracuse is 3 for 13. So the Cuse have already shot a lot of threes.
I realized we shot 13 threes already. That was too easy. Got ripped. There's that defensive communication we all love. Jesus Christ.
Way to pick up that three-point shooter in transition.
Yeah.
Now SMU's under the bucket. Little loop-de-loop and pull, and they get it to go.
And your shoes are looking cool. Over and back. Left or right. It's for you, Jordan Capozzi, if you're tuning into this.
Betsy's getting a lot of minutes. Has Sadiq been on yet?
Yeah.
Soiree.
There we go.
The lob and the jam. All right. 22-21.
You guys live intensely. Yes, we are Orange Jaguars. The watch party. Welcome in. Welcome in to everyone in the YouTubes.
WTLA North Syracuse, WSGO Oswego, W249BC Mattydale, W261AC Oswego, WTKW HD2 Bridgeport, ESPN Radio.
Attention, because obviously that game wrapped up as I was on air.
When
Pitt beat Stanford by 1 point.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, in the first round, all of the games are close. Doesn't matter what the seeding is.
I mean, it's,
even if it's mid versus poop, like Stanford versus Pitt, always close.
It's the playoffs.
It's playoffs.
Let's say Zone's been good. Zone's been better than man, but still down by 4, 25-21. So everyone, when Andrew runs out of the room, that means he's a little bit behind because, of course, the radio's live over there and the TV's behind. So he's running out to try and hit the ads is basically what's happening there. All right. Has JJ scored yet? No, he hasn't, has he? Oh, sorry. Jen's got 22-21. We're spoiling. You're on Stream East, aren't you? Because you're that far behind.
Hey, little update, Jen. Syracuse won.
Can tell you're on Stream East.
So,
are you on your computer and your phone? How are you doing two screens here at once? I dare JJ to shoot the ball.
Syracuse would have to play number 3 Miami after Louisville, and then likely run into number 2 Virginia.
In all honesty, if JJ's at the 3-point line, I'll back off. Shoot it.
Oh, dude,
I'll play you like it's Shaquille O'Neal at the 3-point line. I'm not going out there. Shoot the ball. You beat me, you beat me.
It's like when you play basketball with your friends, and then you get the ball at the 3-point arc, and they're like, leave him. He's with us.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, dude.
No,
let him shoot. Let him shoot. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he
sucks.
He's had good looks, and it's, in and out. But at the same, I'm streaming it on my husband. Fair enough. That's why I got married, right?
That's what husbands are for.
There you go. I have a friend who joined the military just so he could use govx.com.
Govx.com. Where's Stipe Miocic, dude?
That's true. Yeah, he has been all over these ads. Good Lord, Spurs are just useless. They might get relegated. There's your soccer talk.
Tottenham Hotspurs.
Spurs might get relegated this year.
Would you rather fight 5 dog-sized bears or 1 bear-sized dog?
5 dog-sized bears.
I feel like if it's just me and a bear-sized dog, like I could take it out. I'd have a better shot than being swarmed by 5 vicious bear dogs or dog bears. Dude, I love this time of year because you look at the conference championships and you get 7-seed Idaho versus 3-seed East Washington. It's like, whoa.
You take
Washington?
You take the bear-sized dog Philly? I'd go with, because it's like Cubs at that point. As long as mom ain't nearby, I'm gone. I feel like, could do something.
It's tough. I thought about that question hard because I wanted to give you a good one.
I'm losing either way.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think I'm losing both ways too. But it's like, which one do you have a better shot? Oh, and a sloppy turnover.
Well, good news is you don't have to worry about Boopy for a little bit.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Good try.
They just benched him.
No, they subbed him out. They didn't bench him.
I don't know. Parks.
They're giving him a breather.
Yeah, he's not being benched. They're up 4, and he's hit 2 threes, I think. 2 or 3 threes. He's not been benched.
This game's flying by.
Good. Go home and fall asleep.
I think the reason they might have benched him, it might be, they said the last time Syracuse played at SMU, he had some foul trouble, so they might be trying to
but he ain't in foul trouble now.
Him a little bit.
Let him get in foul trouble then. I wouldn't save him.
I didn't say I would want to save him, but I think that might be like the thought process.
And then 10 more points in the paint.
What's Doty's first name over at Siena? Is it Gary? Let's see. It's Gavin. Gavin Doty.
Worse with names. I mean, you can't. Gotta block out.
Yigitoglu's good, dude.
If SMU could just hit a 3, this game would be.
I'm okay with them missing shots.
Well, hey, aren't we all?
Yeah, they're 3 of 16. We are 3 of 14.
We can hit a 3.
Actually, I'm wrong. We are both 3 of 15.
Oh, nope. Not anymore.
What I would really like Syracuse to do tonight more than anything is score more points than their opponent.
That'd be nice, yeah.
See, Philly, I know basketball.
I know. I mean, you've seen it, Philly, though, since JJ's, but it's just the most random. I don't know. It's just so random with how he just does things.
Oh.
No, there's nothing there.
Hey, man, just let me react to the game the way that I want to, okay? You're like, shut up, idiot.
No, there's nothing there. Here comes Boopy. Push it. There you go.
Hey. There you go, George. Or was that Kings? That was Kings. Nice outlet pass by George. For me, like going into halftime, Syracuse has been so poor in the second half. I think if they want to win tonight, they pretty much have to go into the locker room with a lead.
There we go.
29-27.
Like he didn't give it to Kyle earlier. You don't want to see Kyle dribbling. I know. That's been my thing with Donnie is I get he can shoot the 3, but I think he settles way too much.
I think Donnie's at his best when he's trying to slash. I'm not saying that he's a slasher, but
Dude,
when
just
he's
go up
trying to slash.
Yeah. That killed. Just go up. You're 45 feet taller than everybody next to you. Stop trying to get everyone to jump. Kick it.
Ooh, much better ball movement.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, I went in.
Was that Betsy? Yeah.
No, I know you're saying the mid range. I'm just saying with 3 for me is he settles too often. I feel like. Just overall, he settles too often.
We're a couple possessions ahead.
Yeah, we definitely are.
I mean, you guys can maybe pause the stream for.
No, we'd have to pause the game because we're a couple ahead of them.
Right.
We can't.
That's what oh yeah. Wait. Yeah. What am I talking about?
We can't.
Yeah, we can't really do that. Touching the ball at the high post, taking the open mid-range. Just attack the open space and take a good 2 or get fouled.
Yeah, I know. It's modern basketball, right? We don't hate the 3. I don't hate them. I just wish. I don't know. I'm old school, I guess, that way where. And there's no way he is Zach Randolph, but when I think of a power forward, I think of like Zach Randolph. I still don't think of a Kristaps Porzingis, which is wrong because we're way past that in basketball. But that's just what I think for some reason. See what I did there? Yeah, that's true. He does. When he was, I'm saying, like with the Celtics and all that. I mean, they throw Horford down there, and all right. He's got that illness again, though. Who knows
I'm ill, bro.
Right. Well, the Warriors have no clue when he's gonna be back, and.
For the post-game show, assuming that they lose, I'm researching, just out of curiosity, what players from each school potential coaches are coming from that would actually translate to the ACC.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Jerry McNamara is even really that much of an option, but he only has one player. And then, another maybe.
You don't think... I mean, we already know the answer to this. I'll just throw it out there. The name I forgot again. The 4-star guard he has coming in.
Who?
Jerry. He has a 4-star guard coming into Siena.
He had a 4-star to go to Siena?
Yeah.
He's a good recruiter, dude.
I can't remember. I just can't remember names. We touched on it on Orange Nation. Did that girl just do a flip with her head? Or was she just lying on her head and then sat up?
Ryan Mesh.
Yeah, there you go. Ryan Mesh, yeah.
Oh, he's from Chittenango.
Yeah.
Bro's there's a kid that good down the road, and I have never heard of him. I guess I'm not really on the, I'm not going to cap. I bet Philly would not be shocked to hear this. I'm more of a baseball guy.
Well, I think we both are.
Yeah.
We could talk baseball all day. If this was World Baseball Classic, it'd be.
You know, I think I should have utilized,
But I love all sports.
Oh, yeah.
Soccer.
I think I should have utilized Mike McAllister more. Would have just made the shows more varied this season.
Anyone here a big NASCAR fan?
Hell no.
Throw that out there.
Oh, hell no.
When we think of the right, what was it, right rears, right fronts going down at Phoenix?
What was that?
Right front and right rears kept going down at Phoenix.
I don't understand the joke.
At the race. The tires kept going down in the NASCAR race at Phoenix.
Really? Oh, yeah. Who won?
Ryan Blaney. Because Penske at Phoenix is a joke. All right, Kings. 14, 6 of 9.
Good defense, man. They're closing out on those threes.
Yeah, well, they also just can't hit a 3. That just kills me. Yeah, shoot that.
Hey. take the lead.
What? Was Betsy going to shoot till his arm falls off? All right, Debbie.
Are you hanging out at halftime? I might go grab food.
Yeah.
But if you're going to grab food, you go first, man.
I ate before this. I got food before this. Hey, how many, since you got it pulled up, how many offensive rebounds does SMU have already?
Wow, 13.
Offensive rebounds?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. 13 offensive rebounds.
Good Lord.
They already have 24 rebounds. We only have 16.
They have 13 offensive rebounds.
Dude, I'm telling you, that Yigatoglu guy, he can clean the glass. He's a real, like, traditional center type. Just full 6'11" guy. Donnie wants to fight the big guy. All right, like battle royale style. Who do you think would come out of a scrum and just a like straight up fist fight of all Syracuse men's basketball players?
Kyle.
Yeah.
Soiree.
Actually, that's pretty obvious. Honestly, I would give Sadiq White a puncher's chance. Too,
Sadiq's coming out. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sadiq's coming out.
No, but William Kyle's a good pick.
What's Donnie shooting?
Donnie Freeman is 1 for 5.
You know what? Philly will do both, all time and current.
All time?
We'll do both. We don't have like a James Johnson.
All time, I'll go like, how about like Dajuan Coleman? Just because he was so freaking big. It's not even like he had that much of an edge to him, but he was just a big boy.
Derek Coleman. One of the Colemans, I feel like.
Okay, Philly and I were in the same ballpark.
I'm okay. Kings is banking threes from deep. I'm going Chaz Owens, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there.
Give me
it's not right.
Give me John Gilland.
Jesus.
Shortest player I can think of.
Joseph Girard.
Yeah. Who definitely was not 6'1", by the way.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Can we talk on defense? Ricky Jackson. On my Chaz Owens thing there, no? Nobody agrees?
Like the effort we're seeing.
Yeah, we though.
Not saying we're going to win the game, but I like the effort.
You're darn right, Red Auerbach lover. I'm not going to give up who that is, but...
Who?
Red Auerbach lover. I'm not going to give up who it is. But it is someone who works here.
It's Stephen Fonte.
Yeah, that'd actually be incredible if it was Stephen Fonte. There you go. Is he wearing a Mets and Yankees hat? From the 2000 World Series? Yeah, he was. He was wearing a Subway Series. Definitely not from the year 2000, but a Subway Series 2000 World Series hat.
Took my dog for a walk, came back, and it's still the same.
Good. Actually, good point. Where? Have a seat. Pull a chair.
Come on, man.
I'm actually.
We're not really cut. Sit over here, man.
Yep.
Get you on camera.
Yeah. Hang out with us. If you're gonna stop in, you gotta sit down and relax so we can all complain about Syracuse together, dude.
Again until
it's been a good first half. I'm very, very okay with this first half. I think we've gotten a little lucky at some of the missed threes, but overall.
Yeah, but it's been the first time we've seen like a solid first half.
There we go, Kings. Oh my God, Boopy almost put that in. All right. Now Andrew's got to get up and run to the reason why we didn't give him a chair. It probably is the first time he's worn it.
He's always up and running around, you know.
It probably is the first time Melo's worn that hat. You can probably afford a one hat rule. Or a one-time wear hat rule, is what I should say. What was that like sitting 2 down for Melo? I didn't pay that.
It did kind of look like her.
Did it? I didn't look that much.
We can't say that every middle-aged blonde woman is Heather-like.
Oh, well.
Or we can. It's up to you guys.
Oh, we could. I mean,
we could.
Why not?
This may not be correct. I honestly, I think we go into the locker room down 1.
No,
with the way we've been playing in the second half, this losing streak, I still think we lose at least by multiple possessions.
Well, Ryan, you forget I went to a military school. I shaved my head for 2.5 years. Yeah, I mean, I get it's analytics, but I mean, some of these are open from 3 and they're just not going in. I mean, if you're open, you're just missing them at that point. I guess Boeheim ain't doing halves. He's chilling. Oh, I didn't. I went to a military high school. I didn't do anything in the military. Here's the military I did. We woke up and we had to march to breakfast. And then we had to march back, clean our rooms, do a morning check. We went to class and we did afternoon check.
What's the craziest thing you ever saw at boarding school?
When Melo's high school came to our show, it was the year before Melo got there. 2 years before. Spire. Maybe it was 2 years before. Might have been 2 years before. One of the Spire kids punched a girl in the crowd, and the entire corps jumped the Spire team.
Did you jump him?
I was working the game, so I was filming the game, actually.
That's hilarious.
So that's
Spire Academy came in, and a player punched a girl in
punched a girl from a family that was very well known at the school. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. But
oh, did you just call Melo? Did you just call LaMelo Melo?
Yeah, I call them both Melo.
Bro, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, you cannot.
What's LT? LaDainian Tomlinson and Lawrence Taylor. They're both called LT.
Both of them are deserving of the acronym. LaMelo Ball. What did LaMelo Ball do to earn Melo? Especially considering he precedes
Buy
Carmelo
a
Anthony.
go-kart and drive around on a roof and act like a little child all the time.
Okay, that's pretty fair. That's about the same legacy as Carmelo Anthony. I'll
it
give you
ain't.
that.
But I mean, please,
no, dude, come on.
They're both Mellows.
If you work in Syracuse, you cannot add to this problem.
Let me put it to you this way: you walk up to any 10-year-old. If you say Mello, they say LaMelo.
Yeah, because
they
they're
don't say
pieces
Carmelo.
of crap, and I want to kick them.
So I'm saying they're both Mellows.
You ever just want to kick a fat kid in Walmart?
You give it that text. You give it 8 years, and college kids.
Yes,
are gonna,
bro.
College kids are when you
cannot call anyone Mello if they're not Carmelo Anthony.
It's already here. If you say Mello, people are gonna go LaMelo Ball.
How are you gonna add to this problem if you work
because it's
for
already
Syracuse?
here, and I don't have to care to fix it. It's already.
Yes, you do. Dude, look at the sweatshirt you're wearing. Have some pride, dude.
It's already here, and it's already passed.
No, I'm honestly, this is the most disappointed I've ever been in you.
Well, that's fine, but it's already here and it's already passed. That's a problem that has been long unfixable.
We should clip this.
That's fine.
Dude, that's crazy.
Mello to me is Carmelo, but I call them both Mello because that's what they're both called.
No.
Yes, it is.
The LaMelo Ball is LaMelo Ball. Carmelo Anthony is whatever the hell Melo wants to be because he's Melo. He's in the NBA Hall of Fame. LaMelo Ball's not a lock for the Hall of Fame. He doesn't have nearly the same legacy.
With the way they put in people in the Hall of Fame.
What did LaMelo Ball do to earn the name Melo? Just play really
I don't know. It's
flashy,
what his teammates call him. It's what he's
play flashy, cherry picking high school basketball on mixtapes.
Did you watch Ball is Life? What did they call him on Ball is Life?
They probably called him Melo.
So I've been hearing him being called Mello since he was.
They're all wrong.
Since he was a freshman in high school. So to me, I'm sorry, they're both Mello. You can have people can have the same nickname. Nobody has bought a nickname Fab Mello.
No,
Well, we
it's
call him
just-
Mello.
I think
It's a good.
I just think that there's
It's not.
a tainting of the image of the name Mello. Like
If somebody says,
LaDainian Tomlinson and Lawrence Taylor were both respectively very good at what they did. in
yeah,
the
but
sport of
LT was
football.
called LT when he was at TCU. He was good at TCU, and I get it, but he was still called LT.
But he was like, I get it. I know that LaMelo, he totally has a right to go by Mello because his name is literally LaMelo Ball. I get that. And he's kind of a star player nowadays. But in the context of you work in Syracuse, essentially for Syracuse, covering Syracuse.
Okay.
How are you, out of context, going to reference LaMelo Ball
Because
as Mello? That's wrong, is what I'm trying to say.
For the sake of two, if I'm saying the high school that Mello went to, and then I say I'm in high school, out of you should know in context, Carmelo Anthony and Paul McCoy were not in high school at the same time.
Yeah, but the context is you're saying this in a forum where everyone knows Mello, which is Carmelo Anthony, by the way.
They're both now known as Mello, unfortunately. For everyone out there, I'm sorry if you're all in denial, but that is what they are both known as. You can go ask any 10-year-old in Syracuse. You can go ask any 15-year-old possibly in Syracuse. If you say Mello, they're going to go...
Florida guy's like, yeah, get your context correct.
That's a good point. They're going to go, LaMelo Ball. And some are going to go Carmelo, and a lot are going to go both. It's just where we're at. People
I'll put it this way.
have the
First of
same
all,
nickname.
LaDainian Tomlinson, he's from the area, right? Isn't he
From here? No, I don't think he's from here.
I've seen him.
No, LaDainian Tomlinson.
We got to drop Pat typed in first.
Screwed. Yeah, that's if everyone's wondering, that's how we let people know is we got to drop Pat is.
There's a running back from this area that's in the NFL. He's not from like Syracuse, but he's from upstate New York. I saw him once because he was training with like a local high school.
Someone's gonna know it in the chat where LaDainian or where LaDainian Tomlinson
from.
I'm not saying we value the opinions, but I'm saying in 20 years their opinions are gonna be the ones that people are also listening to. And if you bring up Mello, well, what are they gonna be known as? Latavius. There you go, Latavius Murray. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. All right, my bad.
One nickname is not set to one person. Unless you've done something really bad, then sure, I'm not going to go there with that because this is a sports thing and there's no need to bring up
politics.
A World War II person. But no,
World War II person.
You're younger than me too, so you. How old were you when LaMelo was 14?
How old are you?
Well, I'm 26, so I'm on.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm older than. How old were you when LaMelo was?
3 years younger than you.
So you're probably right around the same.
Damn, bro, you're unk.
Yeah, you're probably right around the same age as him, which means you grew up listening to his father going on First Take and saying Mello, Jello, and Lonzo.
No, I think his father, honestly, LeVar Ball, annoying as hell, kind of a fugazi type of guy. You got to respect what he did for his kids. He really
Well, except for what he did to Lonzo with the shoes.
That's true. But in terms of at least getting his kids' names out there, he did good. I can respect that. He's a hell of a father. He's just also a freaking, can I cuss?
Yeah, we're on Cuse Sports Talk.
He's kind of a jackass, though.
I like how he said freaking, and then he went, can I cuss?
Fuck. There's my one F word for the show.
You've heard Paulie during commercials.
I want to be 26 again.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
You're
it's
1 year shy of the 27 club.
I am. Whenever I hear Gomez and like some other old person ranting about something, I'm like, so nice to be young.
Nate King's with 17 first half points.
Yeah, he had a hell of a first half. Well, here's the thing, Kev. Anybody who's older than me is old to me. It's like anybody who's 6'3" and above is really tall to me, and anyone who's 6'1" and below is really short to me. It just kind of...
Where do you think I can like run to get food quick?
The Middle Eastern place?
Back to PETA?
Yeah, that's really...
PETA.
You're going to see a sign out there.
What?
You're going to see a sign when you go to that place, there's going to be a new spray painted thing on one of the plant pots that you're going to be like, oh, okay.
What does it say?
I'm not going to say what it says here, but you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, I could show you a picture. I did take a picture of it, but you'll see it. You won't miss it. There is some new artwork downtown for everyone out there. Yeah, I know, Philly. Jello kind of made it to the league. I mean, played a game or two, right? So, of course, he didn't stick. So, the 67% is... I'll give you, yeah. No, Ryan, the shoes screwed him. The way that he wore at UCLA. It's basically, he just got released by the Cavs a couple weeks ago. His knees are done. Like, he's screwed. There really isn't much he can do. He was such a good player. And high school's high school, I get it. But what he did at UCLA in college was incredible. But I'll never get the step back three in the tournament. All right. How are we all feeling about that first half? We feeling good? I like the zone. Is my phone dead? No, I was about to say. JJ just needs an easy. Just get him an easy bucket, but it's hard. I don't know. I don't know with him. Does anyone know, Philly or anyone? Do you guys know how his shoes sold? Like, did they the Zoes or whatever they were called? Did those actually sell good or no? Because I remember Lonzo had some shoes. I feel okay about the first half, I guess, but with 8 to 12 minutes left, yeah, well. Betsy played fine. The rebounding is a lot left to be desired, but in terms of hitting shots. I would agree. I do. I think JJ just, unfortunately, it's just not. It's not gonna work. We know it's not gonna work, but Red's got to just pull him. Unfortunately. Well, what Zoe said, or what LeVar says, and no, but for my birthday, actually, he gave me a $40 Wild Cat gift card. So I ate before pregame, so I'm good to go. Eat once a day. That's all. Should have worn my Notre Dame one. The Zoe 2 for Lonzo Ball. I do remember the $500 price tag. If you can't afford the Zoes, you're not the Zoe 2s, you're not a big baller. But yeah, to finish it, basically then when Spire was leaving, the entire core then threw rocks at their bus. It was not a pretty sight. And that media has been forever scrubbed. They immediately went back and deleted it. Was it Starburys that were really cheap? Stephon Marbury's? It was Starburys were like the cheaper. I say cheaper, I just mean in price. I don't know about quality. Those were, I guess, affordable, right? Toombs 14-11 first half. Oh, Shaq at Wally World. Shaq is, yeah. I was there the year before he got to Spire. I graduated military school the year before, and they always played us in our Christmas tournament. Spire, though, that's one of those schools, they have multiple teams, like IMG. I don't know what team they sent the next year. I know Spire came the year after I was. I don't know if it was Mellows. Hey, I said it again because that's just, it's what it is. I don't know if it's that team, though, or not. Just with you. But good ball movement to start. Misses. Were you there? No, I don't think I was. As far as he never showed up. So at least that team wasn't there. But like if you all remember Armando Baycott, we played him. I played him a bunch in high school. And Henry Coleman went to Duke for a second. Ended up at A&M. They played Trinity? Is that who they were on? I don't remember. Yeah, we played Baycott a whole bunch. And all you had to do, because our gym didn't have air conditioning, and he would die in the gym. All you had to do was turn off the air conditioning. You were good to go. There you go, JJ. All right. I wish JJ would have tried to have gone up when he got the contact. I think it's called goaltending. Oh, above the basket was? On the cylinder and... Yep. Good call. My Siri keeps turning on. I don't know why. And they were going to get one to fall eventually. There you go. Turn in. There you go. And good extra pass. Come on, George. Jesus. Thank you, Kings. Oh, boy, oh, boy. I mean, that's just... That's what I meant, though. I felt the first 5 minutes to me just felt important. I don't get it. Just come out in the zone. Like, why? Yeah, they were doing that in the first half. They're closing out, getting a hand up. There was the one that Boopy got to rattle in. The corner three, the first one. And George, and I don't remember who else, closed out, and neither one had their hand up. They just ran to him. 51-42, we're down. Boopy's hit a couple threes.
Yeah. I was watching on my phone.
Your phone, yeah. I don't know, I just felt like the first 5 minutes were so important there. First 5 minutes of that half.
I mean, another game where they come out flat in the second half. It's going to be a weird post-game show. I really don't have to talk about the game at all.
Well, you can go as long as you want, by the way.
Or as short as I want.
Yeah, Paulie does 30, so you just gotta... They hit the boss, hit 30.
Manja.
Turn off. No, I turned off his. Chewing the mic if you all want. All right, let's not piss off everyone in the chat, though. People in the chat are going to love that. Yeah. There they go. I mean, the line closed, I think, at like 5.5, something like that. I felt it was a bit... I don't... Honestly, I don't really know where I actually feel like that is, because both teams are just losing. SMU's lost 4 in a row. We can't win a game in God knows how long. Since at least SMU, we haven't won again. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the line should have been more, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't shock me if there's a 2-point game either at the end. Was it you, Philly, said game of runs? Exactly where we're at right now. Just got to make ours. What is for dinner, Kyle?
Little halal chicken over a salad. It's the new go-to at that halal place. They better have halal food in Arkansas.
I don't think so.
Who knows? College town?
Well, they might then. Yeah, that's true.
Couldn't.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I mean, there's no way Arkansas is as diverse as Blacksburg was.
That right there. Kings and George did not Not even put a hand up. I look at Miller just get downhill. There you go. Immediately back to commercial. No, that's it. Like just watching Boopy just sprint the floor right there. You see the difference. This man is munching, by the way. He is hungry, ladies and gentlemen.
I saw a question about the UFC White House card. Let me look at it. I never had really high hopes for it, to be honest with you. Called the Freedom 250, I'm assuming for the country's 250th birthday.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's a F1 race. Not F1, IndyCar race.
Yeah.
They're going to race through Pennsylvania and a bunch of stuff. So no Johnny Bones.
Yeah, I already saw that graphic.
All that,
I mean...
Yeah, I know, Jen. I know.
I think the idea by itself was doomed to begin with because you can't really put restrictions on a card. Like, you want to just put the best fighters and the best names and the best fights together. But then when you put the restriction of, well, we can't have too many fights because we don't want strangers in the property of the White House for too long, and there, all of the implications with that. We also would like to have each fight feature at least, one American fighter. Like, there's just too many restrictions. So I think they did as good as they could. Now, O'Malley versus Zahabi being the third to last fight kind of surprised me. Everything else I really like. I think Mauricio Hoofy's going to beat the crap out of Michael Chandler. I think Bo Nickel's going to beat the crap out of Dawkins. It's just that none of them really have much impact other than the last two fights. I love the interim heavyweight championship. That's great matchmaking. Alex Pereira is going to look great at heavyweight. I really don't know how he matches up with Cyril Gane.
Gane's had like 48 title fights too. What is it? Just drop his whole title fight. Like, come on. Either win the darn thing and hold on to it, or you mean you don't want to keep Griff? There's a nice play out of a timeout to Sadiq.
Initial gut reaction. What do you think wins versus between Gane and Pereira?
Pereira.
I really don't know who to pick.
Dude, Kings is doing everything he can on the offensive end. That's it. Yeah, like Philly. Yeah, it's He's really good out of timeouts and like sideline stuff and all that, but people, God forbid you give him credit in anything, then right, people lose their minds. Because he's terrible at everything. We're not allowed to give him credit for anything. Will maybe get the ball in Kings' hands at any point here? No?
So does J.J. Starling have a point tonight?
Yeah, he's got 2.
Nice.
He had a running floater, I want to say, across the lane.
They've been taking him off ball a lot more, too.
I think...
But it's like, I get that he has earned his spot as a starter on this team.
Screw that.
But at this point, with him being such a non-factor over the past few games, why not just completely replace him with Sadiq White or... I mean, not Sadiq White, but just, however you want to mix the lineup.
Matchups. I don't know.
I guess Tyler Betchu would be the best option. If you want a shooting guard who can actually shoot.
Or just going away from Nate Kings, huh? There we go. Thank you. Look at Nate Kings.
Dude,
like,
Nate
Jesus
Kings
Christ.
on one right now.
Just keep going to him.
That nice.
Why?
Do you think there's a chance we get Autry for the postgame show?
Yeah, I mean, depending. It would be depending how long you go, and then it also Kings is level 5. It would also depend on yeah, there's been no dips for Nate Kings here. It would depend how quickly they post it. Man, it's finger looking good over here.
Dude, I was hungry. Finger licking good.
Oh, boy. This team just tires me. Gets me tired, honestly. The thing is, honestly, anybody's an upgrade over Jaquan Carlos, I feel like. Yeah. Maybe not this, JJ, but there you go. Yeah, the whole they're getting paid thing, I get it. The one thing that just gets me is, let's just say they're all getting $500,000 for the sake of it. I don't feel like going through what they're all getting paid. At 23, if you're getting paid $500,000, like, what are you doing? At 21, if you're getting paid that, you know what I mean? And so I get it. And they never were technically kids. Right? Let's be honest. They're all pretty much 18 and older. You get your Cooper Flags every once in a while, right? He was 17, I want to say, when he entered college, but they were all really adults by the letter of it. So I get they're getting paid, but I just feel like put yourselves in their shoes of you're that age and you're making all that money. I'm not saying everyone would do it. I just feel like a lot of people at that age would. And I'm not saying they're doing it. I do think they don't want to lose. I just think at the end of the day, they know if we do, what's going to happen.
Still no announcement on the AD.
No, that won't be for a minute. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Jim. I would. I'd agree that they are losing passion. Like, if you know you're more than likely not going to win, I feel like you would think that was almost horrible.
That was catastrophic, and I'm going to just take a little layup now.
There you go. Yeah, I feel like maybe that's part of it too, where it's like, if you know you're not going to win, you're getting paid, I can kind of just go out there and, you know, get Tyler Betsy getting on the floor. Yeah, this is wonderful. 2 of 10 from 3, by the way, Jerron Pierre. And just a horrible turnover there by Donnie. Boopy gets Betsy, and then Sadiq clobbers him. Nate has to take a pay cut. No, I know. Other schools are playing for the coaches, and I get it. You can maybe say even Pitt right now maybe is with their coach, but I don't know. I feel like also we were at a point where Autry was maybe close to having his number up there, and at this point, I don't see that ever happening. I mean, Paulie has said that too, where he was close. Who's the last Cuse player?
Where's Syracuse in the standings in the ACC NIL wise right now?
Oh God, don't bring that question up.
That's they're 12th, right?
No, they're a bit above that.
WTLA North Syracuse, WSGO Oswego, W249 DC Maryville, W261 AC Oswego, WTKW HD2
7 to 11, I think.
ESPN Radio.
What's Boeheim's record with this team? Minimum 20 wins. Maybe 21 wins, I feel like. Well, it was fun.
Yeah, they're getting crushed.
I mean, they've scored 11 points in 2 minutes. SMU.
Damn.
What? I mean, the thing is, SMU started hitting threes. What's points in the paint? What are we looking at there? Because it's got to be just. We're 0 for 8 from 3 in the second half. SMU 6 from. That's what I mean. SMU just start hitting some threes. This game's done. I guess we were the same way in the first half, really, but I don't trust us to. Kind of trust them to. Oh my God, Sadiq. You gotta get that rebound, dude. Oh!
Where's the court view? In the paint, 20 points for us, 32 for SMU.
I know we've had one, but I genuinely don't remember a layup since Kings's layup on the outlet pass. Yeah, there you go. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is a 21 win team minimum. They could maybe steal one of the UNC game. Who knows, right? I mean. What I will say is, I don't think they officially fire him until tomorrow. I don't think they're gonna Lane Kiffin him on the tarmac, right? But yeah, he's done. And he knows it. I think we can all kind of tell. He's not an idiot. He realizes.
Yeah. Paul was talking about it on Orange Nation today, and I've seen it too. Like, that last press conference specifically had much less of a trying to save my job type of feel and more of a just transparent synopsis of what went wrong.
Yeah. Hey, Sadiq. Then he loses it. All right, well, that sums up this game. That's it. Yeah, David, I will see you at 11:30 tomorrow. That sums up this game. Is
that who the mystery man in the chat is?
No, that's David texting me. Said see you at 11:30 tomorrow.
I'm not sure there's going to be enough time left.
Hey, Sadiq's run. No, it's over. Sadiq's. All right, Donnie. Really? A little up and under?
No, but even if Syracuse can get on a run, I just don't know if there's enough time to block.
No, I mean, this is over. It's done. Guys, I will say, like, Pat has everyone blocked, so you can all block him too in the chat. I know you can't really block him on the radio, and we're not gonna not let him come on the radio. There's no. If he curses, we'll drop him immediately, right? But he knows not to do that. So, but you could all block him. I mean. It's getting outplayed everywhere. There's the layup. There you go. I remember that layup, Donnie. Excuse me. Yeah, it's I know Philly. I don't know. We've discussed it nonstop for how long? I think we've kind of milked that dry, where we've covered everything it could be, or we think it might be, or. I mean, here's the thing. To Philly, I think it does come out tonight. He's getting fired. I think.
Was it Kim English over at Providence?
Yeah, he got fired. Yeah. I think really though. I mean, someone could say Red's getting fired now. Sources. I mean. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd have Red over English and who Louisville's coach was before Kelsey. I mean, Red is worlds in front of both of those guys. The Kim English thing never made sense either, because it's not like he really ever did anything at George Mason or Providence was like, here you go, man.
So why did Will Wade leave LSU?
Got fired for was it cheating or was it something with grades? Something like that.
Recruiting offer with hoops scandal middleman.
The FBI. Oh, that's right. Yes. The FBI. Remember the FBI investigation, tape recording, all that stuff with like Nike stuff, I want to say.
I don't know.
Remember all that? No. Yeah. It was a whole thing. What are your neighbors fighting about, Kev? It's probably better than this. Do you want to call in and we'll put that on? It's probably better than this. Yeah, it's definitely better than this. What are they fighting about? Pierre was 1 of 10, or 1 of 9. I want to say. He's 4 of 14. Send in a video, Kev. We'll put that up for postgame. Maryland's taking it to Oregon. Oh, can SMU? Yeah, should we play a fun game? Can SMU hit 30? I think if Red wanted to go be a recruit, just a recruiter, go anywhere in the country. In all honesty, I just think he wants to be a coach. But the guy can recruit. Yep.
Still down 19.
It's the second turnover Donnie's had in this half, trying to throw the ball across the court. Should we play the fun game of Find Pauly behind Park somewhere? All right. 16-point game.
If you just had to straight up take a shot in the dark, like gut feel, who do you actually think ends up as the head coach next year?
I honestly think Hopkins.
Unfortunately,
Betsy's hit 2 in a row, by the way. He's hit 5 threes in this game. I think Hopkins. What about you?
Unfortunately, I feel the same way. The way that everything's trending, because there's not really that many great options out of the coaching carousel right now. Like, Brian Hodgson even is still a little bit of a risk because there's a world where he doesn't win the conference tournament and then go to the NCAA tournament. And then you're going to take that risk of bringing in a coach who doesn't have the pedigree of bringing teams to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, well, Mike Hopkins might as well be the best option. Which, it's like he's not the best option. He's just the least bad option. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. It's just really unfortunate timing for Syracuse.
I'm saying screw it. Bring in Bruce Pearl.
Really?
I'll just for the hell of it, I'll agree with I had a class with that kid at Syracuse, and some of the stuff he would drop in that class was like, what? He would back it all up. So Pauly, he just kind of makes sure Park's on air. He makes sure Saddleland's on air. He's like the engineer, basically. But yeah, no, to all your point, Donnie is very good for a cross-court pass turnover. Every single game. He's got 2 this half.
There's really not that many good options. Josh Schertz, Brian Hodgson, Casey Alexander. That's it.
Schertz is
You know, like Tony Skin's been tossed around, but GMU's going to miss the tournament again this year.
I like Skin. I think it's too early, but I've always said, throw it. Thank you. Saw Sadiq calling for it. Just throw it. Yeah. I agree and disagree at the same time. I think around the country it explodes. I just think with Syracuse, they kind of maybe already know where they're going, oddly enough. It's a 13-point game. Betsy 2 3, Sadiq with a lob dunk. Lob jam, as Park would say.
Awesome. Last time out used with 4 minutes to go.
At what point, Jen, do we have 2 left? When was it that you said, great, we only have 2 left? It was very, very early into the third, or into the second half. The third quarter almost. Women's basketball. I want to say, by the way, and it's very nice not having Cuse Sports Knower not here, by the way. Just want to put that out there, everyone. When in doubt, at least we're relaxing. Syracuse kind of getting back into it, but at least we're relaxing without that right now, right? There you go, Kev.
So is Siena playing Merrimack in the championship tonight?
9 o'clock, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, I could, but he'll just make another account and come back. So it's like, what's the point, right?
Yo, low-key, I'll watch that Siena game. Like,
yeah,
next
too.
closest team to root for.
Yeah, ESPN too. Why not? I'll have the USA Italy on because they're on at 9, and I'll have Siena
Yeah, I'd rather
Merrimack.
watch that. I'm not going to cap.
I got both on.
I got to prep for Cornell lacrosse tomorrow. At least I'm not missing pre- and post-game shows tomorrow.
It's true. Yeah, you're not wrong, Philly. That is very true. Where it's
right, like you don't want that. The fans are going to be upset no matter what decision is made because then they're going to be like, well, you let Jerry McNamara slip through the cracks, but then, you hire Mike Hopkins and it's like, Mike Hopkins only made it 1 out of 7 years. And then you hire Brian Hodgson. You're like, well, Brian Hodgson didn't win his conference tournament or some BS like that. It's also not the hottest. It's not the sexiest year for coaching candidates. The only 2 coaching candidates coming out this year that I am actually a fan of are Hodgson and Josh Schertz. And we're not getting Josh Schertz.
No, Schertz.
And even then,
no, fire Josh Schertz. He lost to, what's it called? Fire Josh Schertz.
What, are they not going to make the tournament?
No. Well, I think they make the tournament. But they lost. Who'd they just recently lose to?
I don't know.
George Mason? That's a good point, Ryan Mullen. Well, we're down, what, 13?
13 with 3 minutes left.
Andrew's giving up, everybody. Call it. That's a good point, Ryan. It's a good point. The thing at Philly, I can assure you, they aren't. If they were, we'd all be giggling at all of it. Because we'd all know, because it would just be to piss off Paulie, mainly, and I can assure you it's not. Also, if it was, we'd be saying maybe don't say half the stuff he says. The way he, or she, who knows, says it, but... Yeah, it's just kind of nice.
So what jobs are opening up? LSU, Providence, Arizona State. That's pretty much the big 3. Ohio State, I don't think, is going to open up anymore, right?
LSU.
So it's pretty much LSU, Providence, Arizona State, right?
I guess, yeah, off the top of my head. There's always one out there. We always forget, but yeah. Probably.
Well, yeah, and then, I'll mention, too, like, will Wade leave NC State to go back to LSU? Because Philly is a really good point. Because he didn't leave
that's Andrew, by the way.
He didn't leave on bad terms.
Well, Wade.
See some surprising openings. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's always a crazy coaching carousel, but at least looking ahead, there's only a few notable ones other than Syracuse.
I'm wondering if we're going to see some weird stuff go on in the transfer portal.
Hey, dude, pop a squat. That mic is yours, my man.
I'm wondering if we're going to see some weird things go on in the transfer portal. And the reason I'm thinking that is, so Autry will be out. So who comes in, I think, could affect
Pitt,
people's
Boston
decision.
College.
They're going to hire Stephen Infante. You're here to hear first, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a question for the chat. Would you rather have Paulie Sibilia or Stephen Infante be the next head coach? I think I know the answer, but yeah, if Kansas opens, that would be, if Self is over it.
Oh, well, there's Kansas State, too.
Yeah, and they got money out the hell. They got more money than they know what to do with. Dude, it's a 10-point game. Donnie just knocked down a 3. I'm gonna burst Paulie's bubble here. He always says he never played sports, but he played sports up
Who's the Kansas
through
State
high school.
coach that just got fired? I can't remember his name.
Chad, help us. Kansas State coach just got fired.
Jerome Tang.
You know, I will say, to Jen's point earlier with the passion, ever since NIL, I've also kind of lost passion with college sports just because, you know, it's hard to just. I like Kyle and I like Kings. Off of last year's team, I didn't care for anyone in terms of like who I'd be invested in. I just didn't. I guess Eddie was kind of the closest. Donnie was cool, right? He came back, but it's just, I don't know. When I was a student, Copeland was pretty awesome to like interview and stuff like that. But it's just, I don't know. Well, like I remember Brian Higgins. He was once talking about, just a couple of years ago at this point, you will never ever, well, that's game. You will never ever see a senior day like Jerry McNamara anywhere probably ever again. Not just Syracuse, but anywhere. With like the emotions that went into that senior day. And
well, I think
he wore his heart on his sleeve.
I think that has to do with the change in college sports completely, because they didn't have NIL and they didn't have these players transferring pretty much every year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I feel like it's kind of hard for the average fan to get invested.
Well, or to get
that's
to
true,
know
volleyball. It's very true.
Or to get to know a player that you really like, because you don't know where they're going to be next year.
Yeah. It's very true. It is. Thirty-second timeout. I like, by the way, how Andrew left here. It looks like he went out blazing because the chair was spinning. I like that. That was
classic.
That was good. That was good. And now it didn't change much, except we know. Yeah, it's true. You can be open with it. Also, for post game, I'm just gonna put up a black screen, but we're not gonna turn the stream off. So.
Word. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna put up starting soon or whatever that screen is. This morning, Jen, if you were this morning on, if you're still in here for Gomez, did we freeze by any chance? Were you there at the end of Gomez? Because everything kind of just exploded, I think, at the end of Gomez. That's what I'm wondering. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Yeah, it's very true. I was on, no, I signed. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it happened a little after. That's what I was wondering. I don't know. We're trying to figure out what happened. I mean, look at that. 20 and 12, 14 and 19, and 15 and 17. Let's just. You guys think in chat, people in here, real quick before this game ends, drop red in like 2006. You haven't really seen much development from Donnie. JJ has clearly regressed. Kings has gotten better throughout the year. Do you think Autry would have succeeded? You drop him in like 2000, like this age Autry, drop him in 2006.
Nah. He just doesn't have the coaching chops.
Yeah.
Straight
I don't
up.
think he's like the best head coach. I think I think he could succeed as a assistant somewhere, but I don't think he's head coaching material. I think he's one of those guys that he's not meant to be a head coach.
I don't know why Donnie's fouling there, to be honest with you. But no, I feel bad for Red, too. And the guys wearing Syracuse on his sleeve. There's Donnie done for the year, everyone. He wore Syracuse on his sleeve. And half the fan base wants his neck. Like, it just, I don't get the point. I also think that may kind of turn off someone like a Jerry McNamara or a Mike Hawkins, because now all of a sudden people are talking crap about those two. Oh, because they don't want them.
When people say that, that confuses me.
And it's like,
because I'm like, you're not even giving the guy a chance before he even steps into a head coaching job at Syracuse.
Yeah. Well, you can say you don't like it, you don't want him to be that coach, but we don't need to insult the dude totally. Yeah, it's absolutely a tough job. Yeah, I do think when Reds finally welcomed back in 15 years or whatever, that ovation in the dome will be electric. I'll say that. All right. Well, I gotta go get post game all set up and ready to go. Stuff like that. It was fun, everyone. It was a good season. Stay here. Kyle, post-game show coming up next. Call in. Hopefully, we'll try to get Red live. Can't promise it. It kind of just depends how quickly they post it. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out with us. That's a good point, Philly. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I realized I actually am gonna have to turn the stream off so we can change the title to post game. But it should be back up in about 2 or 3 minutes. So just keep refreshing or close the app and reload it.